The park never tried to be beautiful. That was the reason Ethan liked it. No music. No street performers. No one asking you to notice them. Just trimmed grass, tired trees, joggers who never made eye contact, and one old wooden bench that Ethan always chose without thinking. Every Saturday morning, same spot. Phone in his hand, eyes pretending to read something important. The truth was simpler. He was waiting for something, not someone exactly, just a feeling he hadn't found yet. That was the morning Lily asked him for directions. Her voice wasn't playful or nervous. Just calm. Ordinary. Ethan answered without looking up. Then he did, and nothing dramatic happened. No spark. No rush. Just a quiet pause, like two people recognizing the same silence. They talked. Slowly at first. Then without checking the time. Jobs they didn't love. Families they tolerated. Seasons they preferred. Why silence made people uncomfortable. Why noise felt safer than honesty. Lily laughed without trying to impress. Ethan listened like he didn't need to be anywhere else. That bench stopped being furniture. It became routine. Then memory. Love didn't arrive loudly. It arrived carefully. Like it was asking permission. 6 months later, Ethan proposed under the same tree where Lily once laughed so hard she had to sit down. She said yes before he finished the question, like she'd already decided. Their wedding was small. On purpose. Soft lights. Quiet music. Promises spoken low, not announced. It felt safe. For a while, it was. Then Lily changed. Not in obvious ways. No lipstick on collars. No sudden overtime excuses. Just distance. Her phone was always in her hand. Notifications face down. Calls taken outside. She smiled at screens more than she smiled at Ethan. He noticed everything. He just didn't say anything. One night, she said she'd be working late. Ethan checked her location, not because he didn't trust her, but because it had become a habit. Her office closed at 7. Her phone wasn't there. He didn't confront her. Not because he was afraid, but because something inside him said to wait. Silence, he realized, didn't avoid the truth. It gave it space to reveal itself. Weeks later, while Lily showered, her phone lit up. Daniel. An old name. An old chapter Lily once dismissed with a shrug and the words, "That's over." Ethan didn't open the message. Didn't touch the phone. Didn't change his tone when she came back. He stopped reacting. He started watching. Patterns appeared when emotions faded. The way she avoided eye contact when lying. How her patience disappeared only at home. How irritation replaced affection, quietly, consistently. Love didn't leave him. It became heavier. Then the bank notifications started. Small ones at first. Groceries. Gas. Coffee. Then transfers. Bigger numbers. Joint account. Ethan stared at the screen late at night, the glow lighting up a room Lily was no longer really in. Years of discipline draining slowly, politely. Lily never mentioned the money. Never asked. She assumed. And Ethan stayed quiet. Because patience wasn't weakness. It was preparation. One evening, he went back to the park alone. Sat on the same bench. Couples passed by, laughing too loudly, careless with their happiness. That bench had once given him love. Now it gave him clarity. Lily wasn't drifting away. She was planning an exit, carefully. Quietly. Using his future to fund it. Ethan exhaled. And for the first time since the silence began, he made a decision. Not to stop her. Not to warn her. But to let her believe she was winning. Ethan finally understood something simple and terrifying. Lily wasn't planning to leave him. She was planning to leave with everything. And he decided he would help her do it. Silence doesn't stay the same forever. At first, it feels like patience. Like you're being mature. Giving things time. Then it starts to feel like distance. And one day, without warning, it becomes something else entirely. Ethan learned that silence could watch. He still came home at the same time. Still asked Lily how her day had been. Still listened when she answered vaguely, carefully choosing words that sounded like honesty. But he stopped offering himself. No follow-up questions. No attempts to fix moods he hadn't caused. No reassurance when she grew cold. Lily noticed the change. She just misunderstood it. She thought his calm meant he didn't know. That his quiet meant he had already lost. So she grew bolder. Her calls lasted longer. She stopped stepping outside every time the phone rang. Daniel's name appeared openly now, as if seeing it enough times could strip it of meaning. Ethan never asked who Daniel was. Instead, he began keeping track of his own life. Not obsessively. Methodically. Call logs. Message timestamps. Location histories. Bank statements saved into folders with names so boring they could be overlooked at a glance. He didn't do it out of anger. Anger makes you sloppy. He did it because clarity had finally replaced confusion. Late one night, Lily slept beside him, her back turned the way it had been for months. Her phone vibrated softly on the nightstand. Ethan didn't reach for it. He didn't need to. Cheating, he'd learned, wasn't messy. It was repetitive. Predictable. Almost dull. A week later, he met a lawyer during his lunch break. Not a dramatic office. Just neutral walls and a desk that had seen too many quiet endings. Ethan asked questions without telling a story. Listened more than he spoke. Nodded when things confirmed what he already knew. That same week, he opened a separate bank account. Changed where his paycheck was deposited. Left the joint account exactly as it was. Almost untouched. He wanted Lily comfortable. Comfort makes people careless. For a while, the bank notification slowed. Then one Friday afternoon, they stopped completely. Ethan checked his phone. The joint account balance read 0. Every dollar gone. He stared at the screen longer than he expected to. Not in shock, just acknowledging that something had finally finished. That night, Lily didn't come home. The apartment felt different, but not empty. More like a room after furniture has been moved out, the outline still visible. By Sunday morning, there was a note on the kitchen counter. I need space. Don't contact me. No apology. No explanation. Just distance dressed up as courage. Ethan folded the paper carefully. Placed it back where it had been. Then he began filing paperwork. Divorce preparation. Financial disclosures. Documents he never thought he'd need, now laid out neatly. Weeks passed. When Lily finally returned, she looked practiced. Like someone who had rehearsed the version of herself she wanted to be. Her voice was calm, the kind of calm that feels deliberate. She asked for a divorce as if it were a formality. Mentioned money casually. Used words like fair and reasonable. She spoke about court as if it were unavoidable. Ethan agreed. Too easily. He nodded. Signed where she asked. Didn't argue a single point. Lily studied him, confused, then relieved. She thought silence meant surrender. Court day arrived without drama. Lily dressed carefully. Smiled when she saw Ethan. Daniel sat in the back, pretending he didn't matter. The judge listened patiently. Then Ethan spoke. Not loudly. Not emotionally. He didn't accuse. He presented timelines. Statements. Transfers. Patterns. Facts don't need emotion to carry weight. The room changed. The judge leaned forward. Questions followed. Daniel left quietly before any reached him. Lily's confidence cracked, just slightly. Enough for fear to show through. She looked at Ethan then. Really looked. And understood something too late. The silence hadn't been forgiveness. It had been attention. The ruling came quickly. Not dramatic. Just precise. Outside the courthouse, Lily stood still, as if her body hadn't caught up to reality yet. Ethan walked past her. No smile. No anger. Just absence. Because silence doesn't celebrate when it wins. It leaves. As Lily watched Ethan disappear down the courthouse steps, she finally understood. He hadn't taken revenge yet. He had only taken control. And the one thing he was about to reclaim next was something she could never return. Some endings don't announce themselves. They don't come with raised voices or dramatic last words. They arrive quietly, like something that has already been decided long before anyone says it out loud. The divorce was finalized on a Tuesday morning. No arguments. No last-minute confessions. Just papers, signatures, dates, and a clerk who treated it like routine, because for her, it was. Lily sat across from Ethan, hands folded, back straight. She looked composed. But there was something smaller about her now. Not physically, something inside her had folded inward. Ethan signed his name without hesitation. His hand didn't shake. Not because he was strong, but because he was done. The whole process took less than an hour. When it ended, Lily waited. For anger. For blame. For some emotional reaction she believed she deserved after everything. Nothing came. Ethan stood, nodded politely, and walked out. Outside, the world continued like nothing had happened. Cars passed. People laughed. Someone argued on the phone nearby. Daniel had disappeared weeks earlier. His calls had slowed the moment consequences entered the conversation. Love, Lily learned too late, is loud when it wants something and silent when responsibility shows up. The apartment she'd planned to keep felt unfamiliar now. Friends stopped calling as often. Explanations became tiring. Sympathy has an expiration date. Betrayal doesn't destroy you immediately. First, it leaves you alone with it. Ethan rebuilt quietly. A smaller apartment. Simpler routines. Morning walks without headphones. Therapy sessions where he learned that silence didn't always mean avoidance, sometimes it meant honesty. He slept better. Ate better. Peace, he realized, isn't dramatic. It's consistent. And sometimes, on Saturdays, he went back to the park. The same bench. But he wasn't the same man. One morning, Lily saw him there. At first, she wasn't sure it was him. He looked lighter. Not happier, just less burdened. She stood at a distance, rehearsing words she had practiced many times. Apologies. Explanations. Regret shaped into sentences. When she finally approached, Ethan looked up. He smiled politely. The kind of smile you give someone you recognize, but no longer know. She sat beside him carefully, like she didn't belong there anymore. "I'm sorry," she said. Her voice shook despite her effort. "I didn't understand what I was losing." Ethan listened. He didn't interrupt. Didn't defend himself. Didn't soften. When she finished, silence returned, but this time, it wasn't heavy. "I never meant to hurt you," she added quietly. Ethan nodded once. "I know," he said. "Most people don't." He stood up. She looked at him then, something close to panic crossing her face. "Is that it?" she asked. He paused, turning just enough to answer. "You already said goodbye," he said calmly. "You just didn't notice when." Then he walked away. No final speech. No warning. No victory. Just absence. Lily remained on the bench, feeling something heavier than heartbreak settle in her chest. Some things don't return once they're gone. Trust. Respect. The version of yourself someone once loved honestly. Ethan didn't look back. Because revenge had never been about hurting her. It was about choosing himself, quietly, fully, without needing anyone to watch. And that choice didn't require closure. Some betrayals don't deserve forgiveness. They don't deserve revenge either. They deserve silence. And the strength to walk away. Without ever needing to look back.